42-year-old Armenian artist Noreen is selling her eggs as an NFT. What's up, y'all? You ready to hear about, I'll say it's the first egg NFT. I might be wrong, but I don't know if I've heard of this before. This artist disclosed that her first NFT will be a painting entitled Live, which will include an embedded contract promising one of her eggs to a buyer. Is this appealing to you, Rich?
When I saw the title, you're like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. I did not think you meant like eggs, like female women inside you eggs. I thought you meant like literally she was. Do you even remember there was like an egg that was like on Instagram? It's like a picture of an egg.
Nothing about all that.
It was something crazy a couple years ago. So I literally thought you were talking about actual freaking eggs, like the kind I have for breakfast, not actual eggs. So this is kind of like blowing my mind already.
Well, Noreen is a Siberian-born Armenian artist who splits her time between LA and Moscow. And this is the cool part. Her art involves around socio-political and cultural issues, mainly her art pieces depicting women and gender stereotypes among them. So with that being said, we're about to get into why and how she is going to be delivering her egg through this NFT. But before we get started on that, I just wanted to make an assumption here with you, Rich. Just an assumption. I think this is super cool. I think this is amazing. I think this is really revolutionizing some things. I think this is making a statement. I think this could help a lot of people. But my assumption with this is I thought, oh, Rich will absolutely hate this. He'll think that this is completely off and completely wrong and have something to say about it. Am I wrong?
I'm kind of at a loss for words. I don't take the position of this is stupid because of the issue tied to it. But would you find it funny if I put my little spermy richies, on an NFT? Like, would you be pumped about that? Yeah, exactly. You don't know how to feel.
I don't know what to say. But before we get into why this artist decided to put one of her eggs into the smart contract, let me just explain smart contracts really fast. Technically, she's not putting her egg in the smart contract, but what it is a smart contract is essentially when the buyer buys her artwork, embedded into the sale essentially is this contract saying that whatever the artist, the creator decides is going to happen irregardless. There's this term called, let me find it.
Immutable.
Smart contracts are immutable, which means that it can never be changed again. So when this artist comes and decides, I'm going to create an NFT and have a smart contract underneath it, she can have anything in that contract. But the thing is once that is delivered, once someone buys it, it is, say the word again, Rich.
Immutable.
Immutable. It can never be taken back again. So she's decided to give through this contract whoever buys one of her eggs, and she cannot take that back through this smart contract. Smart contracts are the things that people are really loving about NFTs, and it makes them so different. Is it's not just about the art that's being sold or the GIF or whatever like that. GIF, I don't know how you call it, but it's the contract underneath it.
Before we get into like what she's doing, why she's doing it, the smart contract piece, this is interesting to me. We need to get someone who actually makes smart contracts or does this shit for a living, because that's probably going to be a very highly desired position or freelance position or something for people. But you could always take something back. Here's what I would say about the smart contract. Who are you going to call if she doesn't fulfill the contract? Who are you going to call?
The blockchain people.
That's what I'm like. There's no freaking number to call and be like, she didn't give me my eggs, right? Like, let me tell you a real story. I know there's a friend of the family who they were looking to adopt. And apparently the woman who was having the baby had a bunch of children that she didn't keep. And she had all kinds of issues with substance abuse. So she said, I'm going to keep it. Like, they're there. They are there. Okay. Like, ready to take what is inked on a contract to be theirs, essentially. Now, I'm not here in any way, shape, or form trying to talk about what's right and what's wrong or anything like that. What I'm saying is a smart contract, I feel like there's nothing immutable, right? Like I don't feel, especially in this shit that we're talking about, this wild, wild west NFT world, like how the fuck are you going to enforce that? And I'm not saying that we should anticipate she's going to skip out, but dude.
I'm sure that there is some repercussions for having a contract and not following following through on it, just like there would be in regular life. Now, is it something that, she won't do it? Like they have to force her to do it? No, but I guarantee you there will be repercussions of it. Even if it is, she's like a replicable artist. I mean, she does this with her life. The repercussions of that just from like a branding perspective and your word and like the kind of press that she would get from that. I mean, it'd be a really horrible thing to kind of promise somebody and then backtrack.
I get it. I totally get that. But Heather, I think you and I, sometimes we talk past each other, right? And playfully. Let me say this. I think we're aligned on this. We literally just had a freaking thing about Twitter and statuses, right? And like the verification status. Like I do believe there's something interesting about this that's negative in terms of like how far are you willing to go to make something an NFT to get ahead and be the first to whatever.
Do you think she's doing that? Do you think this is like to sell the NFT type
I don't know.
Let's get into this because I'm going to read, and this is what we've been waiting for. The why is she doing this? This is a direct quote. She says, "My artworks are all my children. And the fact this one will actually produce a child is wonderful. The art will always mean so much to the buyer because it brought them their child. And I will always carry that memory." So to me, that says she's very attached to her artwork and the fact that she's actually going to be able to create a living thing through her artwork, which she did clarify that the child will be a child once they are born. They are not a piece of art. She did. That is a direct quote. She does understand that. I think it's something that's very meaningful for her as an artist. And I did read somewhere too that she's hoping that this will help a family who's been struggling to have a baby.
Yeah. This is going to be really interestingly helpful. Hey, Henry. Got your ass on the blockchain, homeboy. Like, dude, I need to be very, very clear here. Besides the fact that we always have to say we're not financial advisors. Like, I am not politically, in certain camps or anything like that. Like, I don't talk about that shit with anyone. Like, whatever it is, it's in here. But what I am saying is, like, that's traceable, right? That smart contract that kid's always going to be like, "Hey, mom." Like, you're my actual mom.
There's actually a big movement right now of people who have been, I believe it's called donor conceived. So people who, have parents who they either don't have access to their information or know who they are. There's a lot of people right now fighting against that system, saying this is unfair, that they deserve as like a human being the right to know where they come from and their medical history and all that stuff. And that stuff shouldn't be kept from them. There's a lot of people fighting for that. And I could potentially see this changing the fertility industry forever because with it being on the blockchain, with it being something that is decentralized and there is no middleman, there's going to be a lot more direct access, not only for someone who wants to donate and someone who wants to receive, but also the children having access to both parties.
I think this is a really good question for our newbies is like, do you think this is too far? Like, I'm all about ingenuity.
I don't know why you keep saying too far. Too far. That's interesting.
We haven't talked about anything like this. We're literally talking about human life tied to an NFT.
You're right. Yeah. What do y'all think? Comment below. Is this hashtag gone too far or is this hashtag
art is art? His name's going to be Art. Art is art.
Comment below. Let us know what you think.